This is the circuit diagram of a base bias circuit or fixed bias circuit. I will analyze this base bias circuit. What do you mean by analysis? Finding the value of VCE and IC. Now here what is VCE? VCE is the output voltage or collector to emitter voltage. This is in CE configuration. IC is the collector current, that is the current flowing through RC. Now I will represent two more parameters. Current flowing through RB, that is called IB, and the voltage between base and emitter, I will call this as VBE. Now to calculate IC and VCE, so what you do is first we apply Ohm's law in the input loop, that is this loop. Okay, so therefore this will be VCC minus VBE divided by RB, that is equal to IB. This is the base current. Now from this we can calculate the collector current IC, that is equal to, you know that IC equal to beta times IB. Now we got the equation or expression for IC. Now we calculate the or get the expression for VCE. So for which we apply KVL at the output loop. So what is the output loop? See, this is like this. The meaning of plus VCC is like this. Positive of the battery is connected here, negative of the battery is connected here. Okay, so now we apply KVL at the output loop. What we get? We get VCC, that is equal to this voltage, that is equal to sum of the voltage across all the elements. So that is IC into RC, that is the voltage across RC, plus VCE. Therefore, VCE, that is equal to VCC minus IC into RC. This is the expression for the output voltage or the collector to emitter voltage. Now, when the input is applied to this base bias, see, this is not the input voltage. This is the biasing voltage to make emitter base junction forward and collector base junction reverse bias, so that you can use this in the amplifiers. Now, you apply a separate input voltage here. Okay. Now, there will be variation of VCE and IC. Why there will be variation in VC and IC? Because when you apply the voltage here, IB will vary. Now, there is no input signal. Now, when you apply the input signal, IB will change. When IB changes, IC will change. When IC changes, see here, IC you substitute here, VCE will change. So, how this will change? If you see the output characteristics of a transistor, the variation of VCE and IC will follow a straight line. So this is the output characteristics. This is IC versus VCE. Okay, this is IB is equal to 0 and it will go on, increase. It will go on. Okay, now what is that straight line? I told it follows a straight line. The variation of VCE and IC will be in the straight line. So first we'll draw the straight line. So to draw the straight line, see, we use this equation. What is a straight line here? To have a straight line on this characteristics, we require 2 points. Okay, as far as this is concerned, this is one point and this will be another point. Now, how you calculate the coordinates of these 2 points? Here, the value of VCE is 0. So, in this, you substitute VCE is equal to 0. So, when VC is equal to 0, what you get is IC equal to VCC by RC from this equation. That is this value. And this is the maximum possible value of IC. So therefore, this is called as IC saturation. IC equal to IC saturation. IC sat. Okay, so this is VCC divided by RC. Now another point you get when IC equal to 0. So you substitute when IC equal to 0, what you get? VCE equal to VCC. So this point is in the cutoff region of the transistor, because this is the cutoff region, this is the active region, and this is the saturation region. So this is therefore called VCE cutoff or off, that is equal to VCC. So if you join, this is therefore VCC. If you join the two, it will be a straight line. Okay, this straight line is called DC load line. So a line drawn on the output characteristics of a transistor, which gives the value, all the possible values of VCE and its corresponding IC. See, if this is VCE, the corresponding IC is this. If this much is VCE, the corresponding IC is this. If this is VCE, the corresponding IC is this. If this is VCE, the corresponding IC is this. So this is a straight line on the output characteristics of a transistor, which gives all the possible values of VC and AC. So that is called a DC load line. Now, but for a circuit, the value of VC and IC is constant. See, I am not applying any input now. I have applied only the biasing voltage. Therefore, the value of VC and IC is constant, because there is no variation in the input. So what is the value of VC and IC? This is VCE and this is IC. So it will, depending on the value, let us say this one. This is the value of VCE and this is the value of IC. Now that VC and IC depends on the components you use. See, it depends on RB, it depends on RC. So RB, since this expression involves RB, IC depends on RB, because IB depends on RB, therefore IC depends on RB, and VCE depends on RC. So for a particular circuit, the value of VC and IC is constant. And this value of VCE and IC, when you don't apply any input signal, is called Q point or quiescent point. Quiescent or Q point, or it is also called as operating point. Now when the input is applied, what will happen? IB will change, therefore IC will change. When IC changes, VC will change. So there will be a different value of VC and corresponding IC. That is when input is applied. But whatever may be the value of input, the value of VCE and IC will be on this straight line. The value of VCE and IC cannot be this. So the coordinate of VC and IC cannot be this. It will be on the DC load line. So when you apply a biasing to any transistor using any biasing arrangement, the Q point will be set. Now for an amplifier, normally the Q point will be in the middle of the DC load line. So this is the middle of the DC load line, or in the active region, middle of the active region. So this is the purpose of using the bias.